we are going to discuss more on mechanical and automotive uh, engine. Yeah, and this stage two, we are going to. I'm going to explain to you on vehicle inspection. Stage one, basic mechanical automotive. Yeah, basic one. Stage one. Stage two is the vehicle inspection. I think both of these chapters are actually very important for you to understand. Yeah, as the even one day working, you are going to work under the transport organization, no logistic, atau logistic, or you acted as your personal knowledge towards your personal vehicle. They got two important things. Yeah, number one is your personal knowledge. Number two, when you're going to industry proper, you have an additional knowledge on mechanical. Yeah, because as a fleet manager ataupun officers or supervisors, your job is actually monitoring day-to-day activities towards your drivers. Yeah, when you're talking about drivers, yeah, day-to-day, they are actually engaging. Yeah? They have their own vehicle. Yeah, indirectly that the driver are engaged with mechanical requirement, and you as an officer working there, you're supposed to have at least extraordinary knowledge on this level as mechanic class 3 lah. Yeah, that means you are at par with drivers and also at par with mechanic punya class 3. Yeah, it's not engineer in mechanic. Yeah, as a mechanic class 3 is good enough for you to survive, to perform day-to-day activities in transport organization. Yeah. This one is very important subject. Yeah. This subject it cannot be, cannot find other classes. Yeah. Even you go to Unit KL ke, UM ke, UITM ke, you cannot find this because this subject is actually I find from my own initiative lah. Because my past experience working in transport industries, yeah, this is actually the thing that you need to know, yeah, as a transport officers. Extraordinary knowledge. Other than your management knowledge, yeah, in transportations, you know how to do calculation, how to do assignment to drivers, yeah, how to calculate costs and so on, how to make the thing happen in day-to-day operation in transport industry. One of the factors is these two chapters lah, yeah, automotive and also inspection. Yeah. Okay. So what is the importance of this here? Vehicle inspection. I have here group it together is four objective altogether. Yeah. Number one is to understand a vehicle daily check. Yeah. Vehicle daily check in organization is daily check. Yeah. Monitored by supervisors. And above supervisors you lah. Yeah. As officers there. Ataupun fleet executive. Yeah. They are actually doing day-to-day activities. Yeah. Beside the time, whether they want to check 6 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock, yeah, it's normal practice by the driver in transport organization is inspection. Yeah. The purpose of the inspection is to make sure that people are actually fit on the road, yeah, in bracket safety and can perform the job in that particular day. As I said earlier, in transportation, day-to-day activities in transport industry is to maximize their trips and movement in order for them to get basic pay, and then based on their basic pay. And second one is based on what actually incentive they are going to obtain for the extra trip they're going to do, yeah, on that particular day. Yeah. And then to understand daily check, first plate inspection. Daily check ni ataupun first plate lah. Ya. First plate inspections. Normally industry we call it first plate. In military we call it first plate task. Yeah. Uh, in the UK we call it daily check. So all these are referring to the same toward the vehicle. So every driver are actually the expert on their own vehicle. Yeah. They know what fault, what need to be repaired, and you as an officer there just monitor based on your basic knowledge study here in your UN. Yeah? That was number one. Number two, to have regular safety. Yeah? The purpose of safety or inspection daily is for the safety, yeah? For that particular vehicle, to be moved or run on that particular day, perform their jobs as a trips, to maximize the trip on that particular day, and also to monitor whether the driver are actually follow the spacing schedule if campus, whether 5,000, 10,000, 20,000 inspection regular. That one is the basic thing need to look into it, because since that we check daily on that, so we are sure that anything major fault can be avoided. Kalau major fault cost you more, that mean kalau you are checking every day, the small thing can be fixed, can be repaired soon as possible. You cannot wait for major repair, so will become cost effective, become cost ataupun damage more on that particular vehicle lah. Yeah. Okay. Okay, number three, to ensure safety and roadworthiness of vehicle meet the regular requirement. Because day-to-day activities, actually we are actually on the road here, in back, in walk publics, in walk public. At the same time, we are actually meeting the regulatory requirement as required standard as set to them. So we have to abide or obey the instruction from them to ensure that our vehicle on road are actually safety. It's not only to you, your drivers, but for the public client as well. Regulatory requirement. And then for cost saving, as I said just now, cannot wait any longer. If anything defect or faults, you have to do the immediate repair and maintenance. Yeah. And then to make sure all these things are effective movement, effectiveness lah. Effective mean that effective doing work, trips, and then effective you as a fleet managers or supervisors ataupun operation managers to perform the daily assignment, as task to each drivers, to maximize the profits or movement that particular day. That one is very important. And the final one is number four, the preparation of periodically inspection by Pusakom. Pusakom is regulatory requirement. They got Malaysian standard there. If you go to Indonesia, also got Indonesia standards. You go to UK, US, also they got several standard that match, to make sure that industries, transport industries are actually following, ataupun obey rule and instructions given by the government. This one four object to study that you have supposed to take note during my period of this thing, to make sure that you have extraordinary knowledge to have this, So in the book you can refer to page 243 to 44, They got chapter there in the book, They got written at length there. Maybe I'm not, you are not clear enough during my explanation. You can refer to the book, You can refer to chapter, uh, chapter 12, I think. Yeah. Okay, chapter 12 and chapter 13 in the books, They got several books, 30 to 40 pages for you to read and understand regarding this, to make sure that you are actually fully equipped with the extraordinary knowledge in vehicle, automotive, and inspection. Okay, I have altogether 50 slides in this thing. If we cannot finish this one, I think we can divide two by next class. We're supposed to finish. Okay. So the purpose is we cannot finish in hurry, because in automatic and basic, in servicing mechanical is not in hurry. The only thing that you have to know, not 100%, at least you can capture about 60% in my uh, class is good enough already for you to survive. By time, from time to time, you have to refer lah, yeah. Cannot to refer. Uh, you cannot refer. At the same time, you have to check in the book, yeah. Whatever thing maybe I left behind, we can refer just to have at least additional input. It's not only for that. You also can watch the video as I given to you, and then I have the blue color here. Just type it in the YouTube. We can find this as very easily for you to have extra knowledge on that. uh. This one is the previous slide. I'm sure that you know the component, the name of the component, yeah, of this, yeah. That one is the basic thing lah. You have to know, right? Okay. So what is the inspections procedure for commercial vehicle? Commercial vehicle mean is heavy vehicle lah. The vehicle task for heavy jobs and the day-to-day activities in transport organization. Yeah. Dia kata number one is daily inspection. Daily inspection is daily. Every day you have to perform it. Must be done by drivers, supervisors in charge. And then above supervisor is you. Yeah, you must be officer in charge. Yeah, maybe you are not directly check 100%. At one particular time, your holding vehicle is 100. You're not checking 100% because some of driver may be working in shift. Yeah, you are working office hour. Yeah, maybe you check in morning time if you're working in first shift. Ataupun if you are working in second shift, maybe you check in evening time at 3 o'clock and so on. Before the driver performing their job. Yeah, must be done by drivers and supervisors in charge. Your supervisors is you lah. Yeah, your supervisor working under you under fleet management. And furthermore, they got some accident ataupun activities also carry out together with your mechanic. Mechanic under different department, but all the time they kata they are not checking 100%. Based on the report by the driver what need to be upgraded, repair, mana-mana repair lah. Think that to make sure that the vehicle can move or run at any time at that on that particular day. This one is very important. Okay, number two, regular vehicle inspection for safety. Safety must be done by mechanic through preventive maintenance. They got preventive maintenance as scheduler, 1 month check, 3 month check, 5 months, 6 months, based on the kilometer run. Normally, what we practice in the industry, we have done 5,000 and 10,000 kilometer run. In transport industry, to get 10,000 is not that long, yeah. Maybe 1 or 2 month time, already 10,000 kilometer run because they are actually moving very heavily, yeah. Because their focus is to maximize trip as soon as many as possible daily, yeah, to target that trip. That's why the kilometer run can easily clock in 10,000, 15,000 in 1 month time. Yeah. So immediately they have check. Very heavy move. Yeah. And then number three is periodically inspection by mechanic and monitored by engineer. Yeah. During the inspection also, yeah, this one is your task also to make schedule based on kilometer run. That's why every time we make a daily inspection, the kilometer run stated there. So you can monitor this one is very heavy. And at the same time, also you can control this through the computer to make sure that day-to-day activities are actually controlled. And then the most important thing that is not only you monitoring day-to-day activities, but your engineer attached to you, engineer, one engineering department, they are actually monitoring the condition of the vehicle for regulatory requirement and safety lah for that particular movement. This one is very important. Yeah. So what else you have here? Okay, what is first grade? They got the uh, how to check the first grade. You can find this book in the page from the page 234, yeah. Then it got right up there. And then I got to plug in from this textbooks lah. This one is referring to what are you going to inspect, do inspection that particular day. We call it first grade inspection, yeah, ataupun daily check lah in UK. In Malaysia, first grades, logistic punya term. In army also we call it first grades, yeah, transport inspections, normally carried out by the drivers, your supervisors, and you yourself, yeah. Okay, the first pre-inspection shall be carried on daily prior making assignment or respective vehicle for the respective vehicle. The word WOFTAB, WOFTAB, is normally used in preparing the first inspections. The sections look in the first essential roadworthiness on and offers a best practice advice on setting up system for reporting faults, yeah, as well as looking through the defect report in the early day or working time. Yeah. Okay, they got altogether 2, 4, 6, altogether 6 matter. The basic thing that you have to check. Inilah. So you have to check this only, day-to-day activities. And then under the respective words that we have there, they got several underline the thing that need to be checked. Okay, number one is W. W, we call it, kalau W refer to matter, refer to water. Air, water. Kalau W, OFTAB, see, OFTAB, W is water. What water inside the engine? Kalau ada water inside the engine, you have to check better your artillery, lack of water, leakages need to be added in and so on. Include radiator, wiper, battery water, spare water, and so on. This one need to be checked. Yeah. Okay. Basic. Yeah, basic. Same goes to your personal vehicle. You can use this for personal vehicle also, to make sure that before you are doing a long distance thing, for example, or at least daily or weekly check, this one that you water first. And then the place to check you have to know lah, radiator dekat mana, and then this one wiper dekat mana, which place, location, and then dia punya container kan. So we have to know, and at least you have to uh, initiative to open up the boots lah, so you can see that the position of the radiator, wiper, battery water, and so on. So through this thing, after this, when you going back home, maybe you have ask your parent, your brother, your sister to help you. What is this? Where is the radiator located? Where is the wiper punya container located, and so on? For what functions? All these purpose lah. So W. Number two, oils. Oils ni adalah plural. Oils ada S. Dia kata engine oil. Dia kata lubricant oil, brake system, transmission oil, and other oils related. Kalau yang bawah tayar tu greasing, is considered oil. So forth. And then the one is basic is O. O, dia kata engine oil. Kat mana nak tengok engine oil ni? Okay. Engine oil, lubricant oil lah. Okay, engine kat mana? Yeah. So this one is 2 into 1 lah. And then dia kata brake oil kat mana? You can find this brake oil from where? Yeah. It's very important for you to understand. Okay. Apa tiba-tiba kelabu ya? Dengar tak?
Dengar je, Doktor.
Dengar ya?
Yes,
Komputer
Doctor.
saya kenapa? Okay, number 3 dia kata fuel. Fuel ni minyak lah. Fuel. They got fuel gauge limitation minyak. You can see from the indicator there in front of your seats, steering and so on. But if anything went wrong, maybe fault into the indicator, you can find your own. You can tips, and then gases, diesel, and so on. And then this is very orang kata important. Some of the driver they are actually looking lightly, but new driver lah, maybe you lah, new driver, sometimes looking very lightly looking at this. Jadi kalau kita berhenti tengah jalan, ya, one day, because habis minyak, kita rasa malu lah. We feel, orang kata, shame lah also when you finish on the road, yeah, finish of the oil, fuel, gases, and so on. It's very shame because you have not done your physical movement, yeah, on that particular vehicle. So to avoid this, to make sure that you have to check, yeah, prior going to long distance and so on. It's very important. Anything can go wrong, yeah. Suddenly minyak habis, suddenly you brake emergency, and then people or vehicle at the back you ram into you because sometimes you stop immediately and then you know the proper stoppage, and then so danger, yeah. That's why you have to check prior you making any assignment ataupun trips, yeah. Same goes to the drivers, yeah. Sometimes driver also in 1,000 maybe one or two they fail to check, or maybe they got faults, faulty into the indicator and so on. We resulted damage, accident and so on because of this thing. Okay, number three is tank. Tank is tanky. All the tankers maybe got leakages, dented and so on. Cost, and then got some oil, some kan fuel tank, oil some bocor, leakages, some got leakages and so on. You have to do immediately because the one is cost more. And then if you feel, for example, dented leakages into the oil some and so on, take about 1 or 2 days, and the oil will be run out, kosong. So will affect to the engines. Engine become seize, you have become breakdown your vehicle. So and become breakdown, take longer period of time to repair. Had to do major overhaul and so on. This cost more indirectly. Yeah. It's supposed to perform many trips, movement and so on because of the orang kata repair and maintenance ataupun cost to overhaul the thing take about 1 or 2 month time, and then you are lost in use lah, in use loss lah. For example, one day they can perform about, they can get the revenue about 2,000 ringgit. For 1 month, how much you lost at then because of the engine? And that one is the basic thing, right? Some other condition, all tanks from the leakages, semua leakage. Kita nak tahu leakage or not, you have to go to the ground. Go to the ground, can see they got leakages or not. And then when you reverse your car, normal car lah, your personal car, and you reverse thing, you see at the parking car there, they got black spot or not, got extra water drain or not. See, because something got leakages, so you have to check all this thing. Yeah, it's very important. Number four is accessories. Accessories is normal lah. Lighting, sometime on the left on, the right off, and then this one become hassle when you are actually driving at night. So because you fail to check during the daytime, lampu tak menyala sebelah, and then you still drive, and come to night only one lamp there. So it's very dangerous. So you have to do all these things to make sure that you have to change bulbs, and then to see the condition, the wiring, and so on, before you move on. And then in the heavy industry, if there is no lighting, even you are working daytime, also you cannot be, uh, you cannot perform the trip because maybe you are actually extending, or the time of the trip will be extended at night. So you are become problem. So for the initial part of it during the inspection, you have to check these to make sure they are actually safety, during the movement and without hassle, without problem lah on that particular driver to perform their job. That one is very important. And then what to check? Headlamp, kepala, head tu kepala, the big lamp there, have to check important. And then they got hand signal, brake lights, brake light at the back. Sometimes it's not you alone, you need to help your friends, or in the office your supervisor to check, mechanic. Your mechanic said okay, brake light, so how? Okay, signal, okay, they got signal, okay, left, right, back, and so on. And then they got secondary light, for example, you have secondary light, yeah, okay, not the master light, the headlamp, okay, not okay. And then inside the cabin, they got lamp, okay, on. So like the pilot, yeah, doing perform the job, at least take about 20 to 30 minutes prior flight their aeroplane, yeah, again. And then they get the signal, brake, parking indicators on or not inside that. They got inside the indicator there. You got see, yeah, got the fuel, they got brake system, they got air condition, air pressure, and so on. Whether that one is on or not. Kalau lorry, dia ada air pressure there. It's very important. Above 80%, they can move. Below than what, you cannot move. That one is important. Why? Because the braking system are actually coordinated support by air pressure. Kalau air tak cukup, angin tak cukup, the vehicle cannot move. Yeah, maybe brake tak makan. That one involve brake and air system. It's very important. Kalau normal system, normal brake, normal vehicle, small vehicle, there is no indicator on air pressure. Kalau bus, heavy vehicle, and so on, they got indicator of uh, air pressure. Air pressure is to help to make sure that help the mechanical of the brakes they can support using braking air system. Yeah. Mechanical, but they are using system also. Chemical, but they are using system. So it's very important for you to understand. Yeah, the basic things. Which therefore, from time to time, you have to have more reading. Yeah? You have to have more reading on this medical part. Even I already already explained to you in 2 chapters. You can expand it into 10 chapters from time to time. And then at the same time, you have to have at least extra knowledge when you got this from the mechanical book, from the book shops, yeah. Ataupun if you go to the industry, you can find this book from your mechanic. Enough for you to survive, yeah, in that particular day. Jangan malu, ya. Sometimes be shame, yeah. Very reluctant to borrow and so on. But this one is not knowledge, yeah. So you have to ask sometimes. So this one is part of the learning process lah from time to time. So you have to equip yourself lah before you go. Right. And then the final one they kata B. B is bodies. Bodies, bodies of the car, bodies of the lorry, and so on. You check. Yeah. So, this one is dirty or not. You have to advise driver to wash it. Also at the same time clean. And then you see regarding maybe bekas. Hmm? Maybe that one is not good for the movement for the public, yeah, body, yeah. And then sometimes you see the tarpaulin, yeah, the canvas and so on. Sometimes kalau open top, yeah, kalau container, you see the condition of the whole trailers and so on to make sure uh, visually can look good lah, look good, and and that is become image also lah to our company to make sure that all clean, and then encourage customer to come and engage with us in future. This one is very important. And then the most important that is tires lah, tires condition and so on. Tire botak, licin kita be used to make sure tires are actually good. At least minimum 30% dia punya flowers, ya, bunga, bunga flowers, ataupun equipment, ada tool and so on. You have to check if anything breakdown on the roads, maybe your driver can use the tool, can at least to while waiting, or sending to the nearest or to the go to the office, they can do their own. For example, changing tire tools and so on, with brace, which is can help lah. So for your personal car, the most important thing that before you go, to make sure that you check the tool. That one given set of tool given by the manufacturers in the car, personal car. So you have to check also like whether tool or not. Uh, so if you cannot do, maybe with the tool, but you can call someone to help you because the tool there already. example, wheel brace, jack, and so on. That one is important. And then spare tires. Spare tires, some of us may be very ignorant. Just take lightly on the spare tires. So every vehicle they got spare tires. So at the one time the air pressure are enough. In anything went wrong, first damage the tires, you can change or you can help mayhaps get somebody to help you with the tires ready. Otherwise, if anything went to your tires and then you want to change the tires, suddenly the tire no pressure, so you will become problem and take time also to wait the mechanic to come and cost higher cost lah. Okay. Jadi sebagai transport officers and then transport student one day, you should be able to change your own tire. Car lah, kalau personal car lah. Kalau you tak boleh tukar, you let somebody to change, even you female or female, that means you are the transport officers lah. You cannot say that you pass the orang kata course lah. Very difficult. Because from time to time, you have to understand, know how to do it. And then, for example, change battery. As a transport officers, you should be able make to battery jumping, for example. It should be understood on that. Understand better because that one is a basic thing. Transport officers. We call it transport officers. Kalau tak, baik you panggil economic officers ataupun HR officers ataupun accounting officers. You do not know basic thing because you are actually involved in transport. You should be able to understand better on the basic part of it. Ni sebagai transport officer pula, you charge battery terbalik pula and then become burst battery meletup and then dia punya pinion tu rosak. So nak charging battery pun, nak buat jumping, so you need to have at least knowledge on that. And then to change tire also you have to need knowledge and basic practical on that. And then here in the class you don't have practical, just theory only, but you can watch videos, you can watch this. So going back home, you have to watch more on how to change tire. For example, just type change tire, can see that. How to jack it, what tool that you want to use. Important lah. Important for you to equip yourself, yeah, and then for your own good in future. It's not to other people as well, and then to you, maybe to your family, to your parent, and so on, and can help you lots. Otherwise, you akan jadi liability. You only know how to drive, and then you got license D. It's not only permit for you to drive. You are actually safety on the road. No, you need to have at least basic extra safety on this thing. It's not only can drive, but you can diagnose the fault. Anything went wrong. That one is officers, good officers. So I suggest to you get more reading and see people what they to do. And then this one is your basic thing. Extraordinary knowledge you're supposed to give yourself. And then you become asset to the public. It's not liability. Anything went wrong, you telephone plus. It's not plus fault. Kalau setakat just leakages, bocor, burst your tire, no need to call plus. You can change by your own. Waste time, you call plus. Take about 1 or 2 hours time for them to reach. Or if plus not around during the morning time, the morning not around, so take about 3 hours. Oh, just take a few minutes for you to change tire, for example. Easy. Alright. Basic. Itu knowledge lah. Yeah, you cannot get this outside unless you learn. Okay, that one is first pre-inspection. And then other than that, the most important thing is what actually we have in the industry is servicing. Pemeriksaan kendaraan service. So we have to change the cylinder oil servicing. So servicing based on the schedule. For your personal car, they're actually based on 5,000 kilometer run, 10,000 kilometer runs. The thing that you need to go or send to the workshops, and change the filter and the cylinder oil. That's all. And then the workshops man will check all the safety methods, for example, braking indicators and what required in the WOF stuff just now, WOFTAB. That one normally checked by the mechanic. But at the same time, you can check by yourself. Yeah, that one is indicator okay, braking system okay, and then the lighting okay, and it's also thing already. Some is actually you have knowledge on that. It's not worried much about other checking. Then servicing is very important because if you fail to do servicing, then you actually fail to uh, ensure or to make sure the safety of the vehicle on the roads. Yeah? That's why in the servicing, maybe people choose to take 5,000 kilometer run or 10,000 kilometer run as according to the schedule. In the office, they got big schedule there, and then in the computer, the driver cannot run away because every time they move, the driver moves on the vehicle, the officers will indicate the speedometer reading. So we can schedule them. That one, the schedule is not only fixed. Sometimes they are different. They're supposed to do servicing on March, but which one come first? February only 10,000, you have to go first. That one is normal servicing there. And then normally servicing is based on kilometer run, not month. Sometimes people think, okay, every 10 months, once. Every 10 months, 10,000 run, for example, 10,000 kilometer, have to change battery, have to change the oil and also filter. Some vehicle every month got 10,000 kilometer in the industry because they are actually move the vehicle very heavily. They reach 1 month already 10, oh, have to send to the workshop to do servicing. Yeah. Okay. And then servicing is actually, we are actually focused on the compliance of the standard. As what actually required by the regulatory bodies to do the standard of heating and bracket safety. So we have to perform. It's not our vehicle itself for last longer time, but also for public. Servicing ni kan. So to make sure that it's safety on the road lah servicing. Semua lah. Kalau enjin minyak tak tukar, it's going to be difficult. Yeah, for you. What are the key informations during the inspection? They kata, one is the process. Okay, the process is kata, patut slide ni prior to this ya, yang sebelumnya ya. Dia kata, when you're working industry got 100 vehicle at one particular time during inspections. So you as an officer, you just walk around. Dia pakai signal. Kalau dalam military, dia pakai hand signal. Kalau dalam industri, dia actually using loud hailer. Okay, inspection and so on. Round check, yeah. And then, so you have to walk around. So the driver there, the mechanic there, just go around. Kalau nak check one by one, it's very well to take time. Normally, the inspection take about 10 to 15 minutes only, no more than that. Because the time for you to do assignment, movement is very important. Very fast one, but it's very effective. Mechanic there, your supervisor there, you also there as an officer working in the in the fleet department. So straight away. Anything went wrong, the driver will fill up the form. I show the form, what type of form they're going to use, and send to the nearest office, to the office. Yeah. So you go through lah to the form and then whether this one is important, urgent or not. Kalau urgent, okay, stand down. Okay, repair first. Not urgent, you go first. Or like that. Yeah. Okay, as a driver may be carried before check, your first drive vehicle can be on okay, for the safety lah. And then assist may be required some during the inspection, example light not working. Itu sebab kalau kita nak buat light belakang, lampu belakang, rear lighting, you can do your own. So you need somebody to help. Mechanic help or your supervisor help, okay. Help the driver or you yourself, okay, on everything. Alternatively, brake pedal acceleration tool may be used and effective may. Boleh lah kalau you seorang-seorang, you boleh dekat brake pedal tu, you nampak lampu ke tak. That all is very rare lah. Normally people know they okay, on. Okay. Kalau kita buat malam, ada torch light to help you lah. There is no problem with doing first play at night. If first job, maybe the vehicle is idle for longer period of time, and then you want the driver to work during the night. So no problem for them to do first break during the night. So you have to have at least equip on the tool lah, additional tool macam torchlight, panel lock, lighter, and then whatever thing, yeah, safety thing required for the personnel working at night. So very important, yeah. And then the system reporting, yeah. System reporting need to be carried out. Maybe in the industry using form reporting. Kalau your personal car, you have to go to the mechanic lah, workshop and repair lah kan. Tapi kalau the system integration, they got their own standard form lah. Check lah. Macam pilot lah. Driver acted as a pilot lah actually. What is I cannot go far. Even though the assignment is very important, three very important. This one is cost per safety to the public, so I cannot move my car. Okay, no problem. Repair immediately. Especially lighting. The mana-mana one lighting very key one. Lighting. Take about 50 minutes to repair, to cover up and sebagainya. Check the wiring system and so on. Okay. So what else actually? Daily defect check and vital and result such check should be recorded dalam record tu lah. And then allow time to completion this check. Staff are encouraged to train to carry out them out thoroughly. And then reporting electrical equipment. And then this one more on reporting lah, yeah, more on reporting. But in reporting in Malaysia standard they are using form lah, yeah. Okay. So the most important thing that every time vehicle on the road must be safe lah, yeah. So kalau tak safe, you as an officer should bar them, yeah. Okay, mat, you have to wait for a while, repair this one. Brake is not functioning well, or lighting is not functioning well. You have to wait, pending for repair and maintenance about half an hour. So I call a mechanic and repair and part everything. This is your role and task responsibility essentially, yeah. Okay, right. The subject of written report must be some other person responsible to be recording defect. The detail should be vehicle registration, dalam form tu kan, and then date, detail, defect, symptom, and so on and so forth. Yeah. Uh, so, uh, so these are actually the form that use lah in the organization normally. So at the same time, the driver already create the form, you just tick lah. So for you as an officer there to verify, okay, this one can go on. Should drivers they cannot go, so you have to support who cannot go. This one is very involved safety and so on. So very important. Yeah. So you have to bar the vehicle from going to trip. Yeah. That one is normal standard that we have in the organization. Yeah. Sign and report by the driver and yourself as officers. So everything there already, yeah. So this one is considered acted as a checklist lah. Beside the word WOFTAB just now, WOFTAB, WOFTAB, water, oil, fuel, tank, accessories, and bodies, all those things. That one include in the form. Just tick it on the side. You can tick, kan? Just okay. Okay, on the road. If anything went wrong in between the line, for example, accident, yeah, you know, sometime accident lah, sometime normally accident lah because of the mechanical fault and so on. I think according to the law process, you are not at fault because you already inspected before prior to that. So at the same time, you are actually doing your job. So the only thing that driver may be fault by public and so on. So your task is over already because you have done good job. Okay, any questions so far? Itu jenis borang dia lah. Normally borang, normally that you use during the inspections Uh, for driver normally equipped in the cabin lah daily kan. If anything went wrong, that one. If anything, no report on that, tak ada lah. Saya tak ada, none. So your task is over lah as an executive there. Okay. What else? Okay, pre-test. Other than that, the most important thing that every 6 months, the heavy vehicle need to undergo the Puspako inspection. Puspako inspection. Puspako inspection is very important because they are actually meeting to the regulatory requirement lah, instruction. So every 6 months, for vehicle more than 1 year, they have to attend, undergo this uh, Puspako inspection. You pay 60 ringgit for vehicle, and then they got give you a certificate, pass, and then it's the time you can renew your tag. And they got the sticker on that, sticker macam rotek lah, additional pass Puspako inspection, 60 ringgit. And then if you fail on that particular vehicle, maybe got asap problem, manifold, maybe got braking problem, and so on. They may asking you to test for second time, cost you 40 ringgit. And then please take note, when you do more than one inspection, that means you are actually jeopardize the movement. So as I said earlier, in transport industry, you have to maximize the movement. Kalau test saja kan take 1-2 days, repair, maintenance and everything kan, inspection. That one is going to time and cost, loss, the vehicle punya income. This one very important. That's why first grade inspection the vehicle very important because you are actually helping the driver to be doing major courses, major repair. Jadi kalau kita buat daily inspections, anything heavy, including brake, mechanical and so on, can be reduced lah. So when come to the major or inspection by Puspakam and so on, that vehicle can attend without any hassle. Maybe just type a big brake kan, check the brake system and so it's okay, just test. Because the lighting there, the paneling there, the body color, braking system okay, should be no problem. So kalau kita check during the initial daily inspection and so on, we are going to face problem later on. This one. Okay, semua dah kena check WFT masuk mirror door and then in the office we also have the test procedure. Normally they got the braking test, brake test. So what thing need to be checked so in the office they have this dia punya processes dekat workshop kita kan. And then normal lah, brake, pintu, body, asap and so on and so forth. Seat belt, horn, light, normal lah. Kita check lampu spek. They akan check during the puspakam. Registration plate, whether that one is sama dengan grant, dalam sat the grant and so on, whether that one same or not. Vehicle number, identification number, whether same or not. Body, underneath, underground body kan, below part of the vehicle, they check whether got dented or not, karat, leakages and so on. This one, and exhaust emissions. Exhaust emission is very important. Kalau black, more than 15%, automatically reject. Because they become harm to the public's pollutions. Exhaust system, the most important. Fuel system, they check. And then fuel system and exhaust system are actually, they kata adik-beradik. If you fall in fuel system, that means you fall in the exhaust system, that one cause fuel system. Sebab fuel system ni kadang-kadang kita check, okay. Tapi asap hitam, fuel fault lah. Fuel system fault lah. Wiper, washer, and so on, steering, suspension. Suspension pun important. Suspension ni, dia involve weight ni, suspension. Kalau suspension tak bagus, kemungkinan kalau kita angkat berat, dia boleh terbalik. They maybe collide, or maybe they are actually involved interfere in brake system. Kalau suspension tak bagus. Bahaya lah. Steering and sometimes left, sometimes right, they check also. This one more on left, for example. This one based on what? Light sharp, pedal end, and so on and so on. You have to understand how the thing works. Check. So you have to check. Steering must be 50-50, 50 left, 50 right. Suspension must be above 80%, cannot more than that. This can be checked. In the office, you can check. And then, of course, in the Puspakom requirement, workshop there, they check all these things requirement. All right. Vehicle structure. Maybe you have authorized modification. Cannot, we cannot split authorized. Split. The vehicle had already or on kata signed, approved by the regulatory bodies. So we cannot be additional amendment, extension, and so on. Cannot. You have the extension, one cannot be passed lah. Braking systems more important. Braking normally left, right 40, right 40. Make sure in the center. If anything wrong to the braking system, maybe more on left, maybe involve accident. If small car also like that, braking system kalau tak betul, dia akan lari, akan terbalik and so on. If heavy vehicle is not good in terms of braking system, they're going to be accident, terbalik and so on. So cost more, That's why during the inspection, braking system is very important. Make sure when you brake, automatically, and then the portion of the lorry doesn't run away. Straight go, right? Handbrake and so on, Brake shoes, all those things, and then check everything lah. Braking system maintenance and so on and so forth, Okay, wheel and tire, the most important, wheel and tire. Tire, wheel, macam mana dia punya position. And normally people check in this thing, right? So at home, you just press this wheel and tire, they come up. Wheel and tire is what? The systematic way how they maintain a tire and so on. Alright. So what else? Yang ni tadi, driver check and report. Normally they are equipped by every cabin driver. They got this form lah. Normally in the office, you have to check and sign it. And then please take note when you sign it that you are actually responsible. Defect by signature. Sign here lah. Okay. You say okay, that means okay lah. If anything went wrong, maybe the regulatory bodies want to check because cause accident, heavily fatal accident, for example, involve billion of dollars, for example. Maybe the regulatory body will check who inspect that thing, driver, who's officer in charge and so on. And then when you go to the court, we can show this. I already inspection, everything there already, safety, but act of court, accident, for example, what to do? Avoidable. So, you dah lepas dah, okay. I think you cover already. Safe your safety, right? Uh, so please take note that when you involve with public drivers, you are actually involved with people. People can do anything against you. Especially you involve public kan, anything went wrong. So many things. When come to accident saja, oh, we have to open up 12 files. Very headache as a transport officers there. Uh, claim from third party, claim from these manufacturers, claim from your parent if you die, for example. All those things have to take million of dollars. Kalau orang tahu, kebanyakan sekarang orang tahu, once this thing viral, finish. So you have to go to record. You are as an officers, one of these days you have to accompany your driver to going to record. Uh, kan? You sebagai penjamin lah. Pergi court. You attend to the court, hearing and so on you. Because you are officers there, maybe your boss, okay, go and escort him. Whatever thing just say, you just follow or you just rayu lah. Whatever thing, maybe less prudent or kalau force. So I experience many time all these things, go to the court, going to the court. Yeah, normal. Yeah. And then as an officer also, you are actually responsible to the mechanical part of it, yeah. Safety and so on. And then sometimes you got accident, mati, yeah, public mati. Oh, more headache. You have to settle to the family and then to do reporting, have to send to the regulatory requirement type of form and so on, open inquiry and go, waiting for the court to come, waiting for the claim to come, insurance have to advise, safety and health office have to advise and so on. So many things. Got 12 to 13 office you have to go. Uh, and then you have to send to JKR for the workshop or the claim, yeah. And then you have to maintain your car and then so many things, yeah. So this one is risk normally that we have in the transport office lah. Okay. So what else you have before we end? Regulatory inspection and requirement. Yeah. Uh, ini saja yang dicek. Tapi that one involve additional part of it. Maybe outside the note that we have. They can check everything regarding the safety. But latest information is here lah. Is this lah. Yeah. Station, body, safety, light, glasses, suspension, exhausters, tires, brake, and this one we got so many things. Bodies I want to check. All those things as we discussed just now lah. Dia punya painting, dia punya color and so on and so on. Body safety on what? Safety belt, safety of the vehicle, all those things lah. Lighting, light, there's not only one light. So many light they have, yeah. Light inside the cabin also they check. Padahal tak pakai pun kadang-kadang cabin kan, but in case emergency during night time, you want to take the tool and so the cabin light also important. Glasses, cermin, ban belakang and so on. So many glasses. Lampu signal pecah pun glasses juga. The most important glass ban lah, windscreen lah, the glasses, yeah. And then left, cermin kiri dan kanan. Left mirror, right, left and right. So important. Suspension, as I said, more than 80%. Exhaust, make sure exhaust good. There is no damage. And then the condition of the asap, his there, bagus. Not more than 15% black. And then tires, the measurement of tires through PSI. Requirement and so on. And then the flower of the tires not less than 50%. And then brake system must be good. At least 50% left, 50% right. All those things, the system that you have to understand. Yeah. And then that one is for public. For you, your vehicle to go to Puspakom unless you change the ownership. You get to Puspakom. This one and check. Yeah. Kan? You tak macam commercial vehicle, they are high going to Puspakom every 6 months, but personal vehicle, no. Unless you change the vehicle, you obtain new, change the owner, maybe after accident, repair, maybe you may ask to change, to check again by the Puspakom. Right? All right. And then they got taxi also like that, they got bus also like that, bus also like that. Then they got 3 categories, your personal car, taxi, and heavy vehicle, commercial vehicle. Normally checked by the regulatory bodies, we call it Puspakom agency lah. That one is right hand of the government punya regulator lah. Check the safety. The purpose is that the safety of the movement. So when you go to the inspection area, that one is very heavy movement there lah, daily. Kan? Several mechanisms that check the activities for the safety. Yeah, right. Ramai yang keluar ya. And last one to see how many people available. So I counted more than 15 already left. Yeah. I want to count how many people left after this. Yeah. So how many people on are actually in the class and focus regarding this. Yeah. Okay. The most important thing that as the officers in transport, you should be able to understand on fault diagnosis. Fault diagnosis ni mencari kesalahan or anything fault to your engines, vehicle and so on. You easily can orang kata diagnose what is this. Engine lain bunyi, brake tak makan, lampu tak hidup, and the engine tak hidup and so on. What are the things that need to be done? And then not only you to repair that thing, you need somebody to repair, mechanic, who expert that thing. But at least you can save time and cost. Yeah, they got 5 purposes here. I'm going to discuss. If you know how to find faults, if you know how to find faults, that means you are actually understand on the basic knowledge in automotive. If you cannot find fault, that means our 2 chapter ni just like a water just pass by. You cannot get touch on that. And then at the same time, with the 2 chapter only, just listen and wait for the pass to final exam. No. Tapi kalau you have extra or kata initiative, when you go back home, can watch video and so on, can get some information on that. Or when we go to the workshop, see what are they actually doing. All these things. Very important. That means the purpose of fault diagnosis engineering to understand basic knowledge in automotive. That means you got basic, taklah 100%, 30-40% good enough for you in order for you to learn from time to time. This one is very important. Number 1. Number 2, save time and cost for the repair as a drivers, you yourself. Kalau you personal car, you lah. Kalau driver, commercial vehicle driver lah. And also mechanic. Save time, go straight away. Apa rosak? You can go straight away. Sakit perut. Enjin rosak. Enjin tak hidup. Pula. And enjin semput. Brake tak makan. All those things. The basic thing that. So kalau enjin tak makan, enjin brake tak makan, so macam mana? You also tinggi. So maybe fault in the mechanical part of the minyak tak cukup. And then dia punya pad mungkin dah haus. All those things lah. Mesti ada initial solution in your head as a transport officers lah. So kita akan tak menyusahkan kita punya parent lah kalau kita ada kenderaan sendiri kan. Ini hadapkan parent saja nak buat regulatory inspection. You yourself have to do because you are transport officers, man. Yeah. And number 3, basics. No basic part of engine fault. So you focus apa punya fault. Oh, dia punya plate rosak lah. Oh, so have to send to the workshop. This one is urgent or not urgent. Kalau tak urgent, kita pakai 1 atau 2 hari. Kalau personal car lah. But commercial vehicle, anything went wrong, you have to send to the workshop nearest. Yeah, we have internal workshop that repair and get it done immediately. And then I send them to other job, trips and so on. And then number 4, estimate they're serious or not serious. Kalau tak serious, okay, never mind lah. This one can take about 1 or 2 month time. For example, tayar botak, still get 50%, okay lah. Wait until end month, we got salary there in, change the one, for example. Alright. Okay. Ataupun ada leakage sikit, 1-2 drops, you find out, this one drop, maybe tak berapa serius sangat. By the time come to servicing, we can change the gasket, for example. You can split that. Ni ada drop leaking sikit. So you have to change the gasket, to change the seal, for example. So you have to use the words, the language that you're going to have this year. And then number 5, dia kata last ramai yang join lagi ya. Yang keluar dah join masuk, bagus. Last the vehicle for longer period of time. Last the vehicle can last for a longer period of time. That means when you know how to find fault, and then you send to the workshop, repair, and change the part and so on. So at the same time, you expected the vehicle can last, tahan lama lah, last for a longer period of time. Instead of 5 years, can use 10 years, 20 years. Like my vehicle, 25 years already. Can use 25 years old, my vehicle, Mercedes Benz. My personal vehicle. Tapi boleh pakai lagi. Should be no problem at all. Because what happened, part of it, you got anything, you find fault. You change this, you change this, you change this. So, you can last 25 years. And expected can be used until 35 years because well maintained and can deploy from here to Johor Bahru, no problem, should be no problem because well maintained and we know how to diagnose, how to change, how to maintain that vehicle for the longer period of time. This one is very important, safe lah. Ini kejap-kejap nak tukar kereta baru, kejap tukar kereta baru, kejap tak sedap and so on because of your knowledge is not there. If you are actually transport officers, no need to change car. As long safety can move, good enough already for you. Orang kata janganlah belagak, gaji kecil nak tukar kereta baru and so on. Officers, transport officers doesn't have that mentality. And then transport officers normally they can drive. It's not old, it's not new. Yeah, they can maintain the vehicle for the longer period of time. They can save you a lot. You can either buy other thing, rumah ke, your house ke, household ke, whatever in it. Other than you keep on changing your car and so on. Through the letters, that one is not mentality of transport officers. Transport officers, you are actually driving the safe one. You know the condition of car, the safety of the car, and then you can use that for longer period of time. You can save a lot, thousands of dollars on that because you are not greedy, keep on changing in your car and so on. That one is not good at all. So as a father, actually I don't like. The father is normally like if you can maintain proper car safety. It's not old, it's not new, okay, safety. And try to avoid keep on changing new car. Lepas ni tukar ni, lepas ni tukar ni, not good. Yeah. Important, new car aku nak pakai new car once only, can last for longer period of time. That one is my advice lah. Okay, so you can find this diagnosis in the book, so as Ezra already knowledge lah, diagnosis you can find this from the book. Kalau berlaku rosak enjin, what is this? Cooling system, what is this? Propeller shaft bunyi, what is this? And then clutch, problem with clutch. Kalau automatic, dia clutch automatic kan, dia juga clutch juga. Manual part, system, steering and so on, everything written there. So go back home and read my chapter, so you should be able to give you for the knowledge on what actually we have. Okay. I think that's all for second stage. I give you already left belum habis lagi already left Kalau yang left awal ni saya akan tolak markah 5 lah for today's In fact, I don't like my class every time you out early because I give you time 15 minutes beforehand. So if you left early, automatic lah Macam Natasha ni kan left early kan, I automatically I give you -5 lah my class. So for your information that masuk balik. Dua apa? Satu janganlah keluar masuk. Keluar masuk lagi kena. Okay. Focus into one. So at last nanti kita akan check berapa orang lagi yang remain. Tadi dah punch kan. Ini sebagai satu perangkap. You tak nampak satu perangkap this trap for you, I can orang kata the time for you to stay in the office, in the online ni kan, can be tracked out through the webback. Tak tahu berapa yang punch and out, berapa yang on saja, tak komputer, kan. Dia boleh track out. Dia ada sistem macam tu How many hours I punya lecture kan. They can be tracked by ICA, myself kan. So through webback lah. Maybe the officers teach you only 1 hour. They can be tracked. Start from 10 o'clock until 8 o'clock. And then these officers, lecturers, start from 9:55 open that thing until 10, until 11:30. Okay, good. So I can be tracked out by ICA also, by TNC. And then your attendance also can be tracked out also through the system here. Once pass, dapat attendance and then keluar. Itu perangkap you all lah. Saya akan bagi kosong lah you punya attendance. You tahu tak? Kita boleh track through webback system, tahu tak? Ada siapa tak tahu ini secret lah. Tahu Mana? Tahu? Tahu? Pana tahu? Tahu. You buka kat ujung system, end of the system there, you can be tracked out how many hours you're in, or what time you in. And then once you punch you out, I already track there. That one is the loophole lah. Normally when I give the mark on the few at the final exam nanti, and then you conclude the mark whether you want to give you A, B, C ke, C plus ke, based on this lah. That meaning on our focus in and some of the officers they want you to open their video. Tak payah open. You want to sleep also can, no mind, as long as you open. Kalau kita open boleh juga. So I can see here. I can see here from this. Katakan kita habiskan ni At present moment we have 80. Tadi scan 90. And then out of 80 at the present moment, because already in more than 10 just now, out 10, in 10, okay, remain 80. Our total population is 103. That means 23 orang tak datang. Jadi 23 orang ni, you sometimes nanti you minta add in manually. So the same people, I know. That one is a trap also. So I give at once, 1, 2, 3. To make sure that I open up the system, nanti dekat sistem nanti, dekat sistem ni, nampak tak tu? Wait Okay, saya pun baru tahulah ni. Punya kan be track out. Okay, share. Okay, tadi 80 kan dekat sistem ni. Kita boleh tengok. From the system, you can also can track.
Doctor.
Nah.
Actually there are one of my friend, Tivia. Dia punya rumah kena flood dekat Kelang, so she tak boleh attend lama sangat for 3-day class.
Tak apa. Tak ada masalah. You boleh masuk dalam tu lah. Dalam WhatsApp. So on. Okay. You can see this, attendant? Can see or not? Can?
Yes, Prof. We can see.
So just now I said 80 kan? The remaining. So sekarang ni yang left yang ini saja tak hadir. Yang hadir maknanya 94. Tapi yang ada dalam talian cuma 80. Itu also can be tracked out. This one is orang kata Bukannya ni tau. Tetapi this one is the system that normally monitor. This one is good regarding. Nah, nama you dah keluar. Nama you sini. Dah keluar bahasa apa? Nama you ada sini tak? Internet. Dah scan dah masuk dah? Dah masuk. Yalah satu buat buka. Satu tutup. Satu tutup. So kalau 12, 2 orang datang lah kan. Mungkin dia tadi 80. If just now I said IT, maybe less than that because one of you maybe open up 2 devices. Yeah. This one, only this yang absent. Got 9. So can be tracked here. Nombor? Macam absent? You scan or not? Scan. Ah, okay, you scan now. Okay, you scan now. Maybe they're in or not. Nombor apa tadi? Nombor 8. Tak Syah kan? Kalau dia kata you ada problem regarding scanning, I just put tag here. This is my job. Manual kan? Hilang kan? Hilang kan? So if you scan for second time, dia akan yang pangkah tu akan jadi fine. Okay. The people like this, Abdi Muhammad is all the time this one. Abdi Muhammad is all the time. They are actually problem regarding scanning. Whether Abdi in or not. Abdi Ahmed Muhammad. Abdi Ahmed Muhammad. This one not local. Maybe they're sleeping. Nanti dia come up in the WhatsApp, personal WhatsApp. Please attend, add manually. This one I don't like all the time. Even I'm very soft, but I have to take this seriously. Hassan Awi Ali. This one all the time. Muhammad Abdullah Ibrahim, Muaz. This one all this kata familiar lah. Okay, try to avoid this because we want to be your better student at CCA enough lah. Yeah, whether you like or don't like, once you take my subject, we have to kata prudent lah doing things. So I think that's all. Plus, enough for 1 hour 21 minutes. Open up the system. And then you should be able to go back to book and read lah whatever you subject. They sabat and so on. It's very important. Yeah. Okay, thank you very much, class. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi